Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Let's get into it. This is gonna be keep in mind part 2. Not keep in mind 2. Keep in mind 2. This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patient of the script of through patient and comfort of the scripture might have hope. So that's how when we're going through things, we have to think on the scripture to have patience and hope, because we gonna know what's going on. We gonna know we gonna know what's going on. We just have to we just have to be patient for it to come to pass. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So it's gonna come for us, and it's gonna give us that wisdom and knowledge to understand what's going on, understand what's happening. And even though you understand and know what's going on, you know your flesh, your emotions can react differently. But that's why we gotta lean on what we learn. We gotta lean on what we learn. We gotta be comforted. You all have to be comforted by what is going to come to pass and how it's going to come to pass, because you understand. Because you're gonna understand that the scriptures is coming to pass. That Yahweh Shai is on his way. That the curses is about to be lifted up from you. You gotta keep this in mind. Alright, I'm gonna get cause all that comes together into your faith. All that comes together in your faith. This is Hebrews chapter 11. Starting at verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen are not made of things which do appear. By faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gift, and by it he, being dead, yet speaketh. Excuse me. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world, became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. You see, and look, and that was for Noah. That was an example of blind faith. That was an example of blind faith. That was an example of blind faith. They ain't never seen rain before. Noah ain't never seen rain before, but he believed. He believed. Yahweh said, and he believed. That's an example of blind faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he after received for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whether he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise. Hold on, excuse me. There's a sneeze coming. Excuse me, y'all. In verse 9, excuse me, y'all. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builders and maker is Yahweh. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. And that example of blind faith, all the way up to their death. For they that saw such things declared plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of the country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly. Wherefore Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, or Allahayim, for he had prepared for it. For he had prepared them for several things about another word for Yahweh. I ain't want to say God. I know that can be used as Allahayim, power, their power. What else? I think it was another one. Yeah, let's continue to come to me. They probably just those two. By 17, by faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that received the promise offered up his only begotten son, of whom was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That's why I think that it just came to mind to me that Abraham and Yahweh probably was on the same wavelength, and that's why he probably called Abraham his friend, because he obeyed him. They was probably on the same wavelength, because Abraham was willing to give up his son Yahweh, and Yahweh gave up Yahweh Shah for our salvation. Chapter 18, verse 18. Of whom was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. According to that, Yahweh was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning these things to come. Excuse me. Let me read that again. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both his sons Joseph, and worship, leaning upon the top of his staff. Leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith Joseph, when he died, made mention of the pardon of the children of Israel and gave commandments concerning his bones. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandments. This right here, this is just beautiful. People just need to read this. We ain't afraid of the king's commandments. His elect will not be afraid of the king's commandment when they, MOTB come. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer the afflictions of the people of Yahweh than enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Esteeming the prophets of Esteeming the prophets of Yahweh greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Haven't said that word in a minute. By faith, he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Like the elect would do. By faith, they forsook. This place is called Egypt too. By faith, they gonna forsake America, not fearing the wrath of this government. Verse 28. Through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith, they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians, as saying to do, were drowned. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. And what shall I say more? For the time will fail me to tell of Gideon, and of Barak, and of Samson, and of I can't say this. Yeah, I see that. I can't say that. I can't say that. And of David also, and of Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of the wickedness were made strong, waxed vigilant in fights, turned to flight the armies of the aliens. Women who received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they may obtain a better resurrection. Verse 35 is something I had want to talk about. Let me screenshot that. And others had trials of cruel mocking and scourging, yea, moreover, of bounds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented, of whom the world was not worthy, They wandered in deserts, in mountains, in dens, in caves of the earth. And all these, and these are, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. Yahweh having provided some better things for us, that they without us should be not made perfect. Keep all that in mind. Keep all that in mind. Keep all that in mind. All that stuff they went through was not forsaken, was not forgotten. Was not forgotten. They gave them a good report. They gave them a good report. All that was on blind faith. All that was in blind faith. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for the times that are coming. For the times that are coming. With that, let me give all praise, honor, and glory again to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.